Text to audio. Here's a Chromebook-specific guide for using Visual Studio Code, VS Code, and accessing a VS Code server environment. 1. Use the web-based VS Code, simplest method. Chromebooks work great with browser-based tools. For a lightweight, no installation solution. Open Chrome or any browser. Go to vscode.dev. This is the official browser-based VS Code. Works offline for basic editing, limited extensions. 2. Install VS Code via Linux, beta, on Chromebook. If you need full VS Code functionality, extensions, terminal, etc., enable Linux and install the desktop app. Step 1. Enable Linux, beta, on Chromebook. Open Settings Advanced Developers. Click Turn on next to Linux Development Environment. Follow prompts to set up Linux, allocate storage and installs Debian. Step 2. Install VS Code in Linux. Open the Terminal app, Linux environment. Download the .deb package for VS Code. Bash. Copy. Wget vscode.deb https://code.visualstudio.com/sha/download?build =stable $OS $Linux-deb-x64. For ARM-based Chromebooks, e.g., Lenovo Duet, use Linux deb ARM64. Install the package. Bash. Copy. Sudo apt install /vscode.deb. Launch VS Code from the Chromebook app launcher or via terminal. Bash. Copy. Code. 3. Use CodeServer, self-hosted VS Code in browser. Run a VS Code server on a remote machine or directly on your Chromebook's Linux environment. Option A. Run CodeServer on a remote server. Install CodeServer on a cloud server or another machine, see CodeServer docs. Access it via Chromebook's browser at http://server IP 8080. Option B. Run CodeServer locally on Chromebook. In the Linux terminal, install CodeServer. Bash. Copy. curl fssl https://code-server.dev/install.sshsh. Start the server. Bash. Copy. CodeServer, auth none, port 8080. Open http://localhost 8080 in your Chromebook's browser. 4. GitHub Codespaces, cloud hosted. Go to GitHub Codespaces. Create a codespace for any repository, requires GitHub account. Use the full VS Code environment directly in your browser. 5. Remote development via SSH. Install the remote SSH extension in VS Code, Linux version. Connect to a remote server. Use the Linux terminal to set up SSH keys. In VS Code, press Ctrl+Shift+P remote SSH, connect to host. Chromebook-specific tips. Performance: running CodeServer or Linux apps may strain lower-end Chromebooks. Storage: Linux uses internal storage, allocate space wisely in settings. Security: for CodeServer, use password instead of auth none if exposed to the internet. School/work restrictions: some managed Chromebooks block Linux/installs. Check with your admin.